Hello ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, this is Zero and we are back again with another top 10 favorites video, and this time around we're doing my top 10 favorite mounts to use in World of Warcraft. Now when I say favorite ones to use, that means ground mounts, flying mounts, all of the mounts. If I think they're awesome, they're my favorites. And so I'm going to show you just 10 of them that I like to use here in World of Warcraft. So let's stop with the chit chat and let's get going so I can show you my top 10 favorite mounts of all time in World of Warcraft. Let's go! Number 10. So for number 10, we've got the Woolly White Rhino. And the reason why I decided to go with this mount is because quite literally, this was the first mount that I received from a black market auction house box, and actually the only one I've ever received. So it holds a special little spot in my heart. Being the fact that it's also a TCG mount and a very pretty much unobtainable mount anymore, it's so cool to get a run around on this thing. I remember seeing this back in like Wrath of the Lich King and all the older expansions, and whenever I see a player riding through with one of those, I was like, damn, that guy's super lucky, or damn, that guy's got a lot of gold, or damn, look at that sweat. Well, guess what? Now I get to be that damn running by on this big old bastard. I think I only spent like about $500,000 gold when I got the box for this, and I was thoroughly caught off guard when it popped open. So now every chance I get to, if I'm in a zone where there's no flying or anything like that, I love to hop on this thing and just go rolling through in the white warrior behemoth. You can also use like Mr. Smite and stuff like that to make it extra large, to make it more impressive. So number 10, of course, has got to be the Woolly White Rhino. So for number 9, we've actually got kind of a weird one here. It's the Highland Drake, but it's the full transformation skin that drops off the last boss in Aberrus the Shadow Crucible, which is known as the Elementium Drake. Now this form is actually the form of the first boss you face in the raid, so it's really nifty to be able to have the metal work, it's a steel dragon with molten energy underneath it, so flying around on this bad boy is just freaking cool. I know a lot of people thought this was probably one of the better skins that you could get of the full transformations from the ones from the raids. It's personally my second favorite of the full transformations that you can get from raids, but I mean overall the aesthetic, the design, the beautiful intricate detail that went into this mount, I mean it is phenomenal, and to fly around on it you look like a straight badass. Getting real metal up in here, oh yeah! So if you are lucky enough to have this mount skin, make sure you got it equipped, because I mean, there's nothing cooler than a giant metal dragon flying through the sky made of pure fire and hate. Dun dun, nah, dun dun, hate, dun dun, nah. So for number 8, we got the Carcinized Zerethsteed. I just call it the Zerethsteed because I can't say the first word, because we all know I'm dyslexic as all hell and I can't pronounce half the words that these guys decide to name things. Anyways, this is a mount that is no longer attainable. It comes from ahead of the curve, the Jailer. So if you didn't get this mount, well, you can't get it anymore. What's really cool about this mount is the fact that it's a nightmare, if you really think about it. They took the boss, ripped his head out, and we're using its lower part of its body as our ride. Because this comes from Holodrandus, the 4th boss in Sepulchre of the first ones. And quite literally, there's this round head part that's supposed to be on top, but you literally are sitting where the head goes. We decapitated this thing and made its body our ride. How freaking metal and cool is that? I mean, literally, we killed the thing, took its body, and then we're like, hoo-hoo, we get to pilot it around now, puppet it around. Plus, I mean, it looks like the X-Wing, especially when you're flying around like this. It looks like the X-Wing, come on now. So, of course, this one comes in at number 8, the Zerethsteed. Oh my god. 789! 789! So, coming in for number 7, we got the G.M.O.D, which the fact that Undermine is going to be our next raid, I'm definitely going to be sporting this mount a lot when we go there. So this one actually has Gallywix's face on it. It comes from the Siege of Borealis, Battleford Dazzlor, and it drops off of High Tinker Mechaspark. You can actually get this mount on other difficulties from Jaina 2, I do believe LFR, Normal, and Heroic, and then from the Mythic, it drops off of High Tinkerer. But overall, this mount is absolutely amazing. If you know me, you know I'm a fan of the mechanical mounts, so this one is a big-ass mech with a shield and electric claw. What's not to love about it? Oh, wait, it's also blinged out in gold and jewels. It's fabulous. Of course I want this thing as one of my top mounts. I remember when I got this mount, I was like, oh my god, yes. Immediately went, got on it, and was just slow walking through town with a nice little beat on, like, yeah, look at my mount, yeah, it's made of gold, yeah, look at my G.M.O.D mount, look at it now. So, number 7, the G.M.O.D mount, and my gooperness at the same time. I do believe we have got ourselves a number 6, got ourselves a 6. So coming in for number 6, we probably have the most sought after mount in the entire game for the longest time. The Heavenly Onyx Cloud Serpent, which originally used to only drop from the Shaw out in Pandaria, but with Remix coming around, it became available to be bought during Remix, so that really greatly increased the number of players who owned it. Also, during the release of the Drakthir, there was a bug that made it so that the Drakthir's loot pool only had gold and the mount. So at the very beginning of the Drakthir's release, so many players were getting this mount because of the bug that Blizzard decided to actually change the drop chances on all world mounts from both Pandaria and from out in Warlords of Draenor, so Rukmar also. Meaning that instead of being 1 in like 2,000, 1 in 5,000, whatever they were, they're now down to 1 in 100. So they're a lot easier to obtain and making this extremely cool mount able to be much, much easier gotten. I know I was somewhere in like the 4,000 attempts when I got this because I was farming this thing for years and years and years, but now it's ours. 25 is alive. Alright, let's be honest. Did you really think I can make a top 10 favorite mounts without putting Invincible on it? A Death Knight main since they dropped? A Death Knight lover above all else? The Lich King is my favorite raid boss of all time? Yes, it's not number 1, 2, or 3, but there are reasons behind that. But it goddamn is gonna be on this list. Invincible, the crowning steed of the Lich King, of all this Menethil. Such a beautiful mount. Like, honestly, I chased this thing for years. 856 attempts is what it took me to get my hands on this amazing piece of lore. Oh my god, Invincible is such a cool mount. And if you ever read Arthas Rise of the Lich King, it will really make you appreciate this mount even more. And you'll know that Invincible broke its front right leg when it passed away, when Arthas had to put it down. And if you actually pay attention to the model, that front leg is broken and it wiggles back and forth in the air when you're on it. Super cool little detail that they added. So, absolutely, as a Death Knight main, and if you're one too, you better have Invincible. Oh yes, can you please read the bottom line for me?
Well, I think it looks like a board to me.
So coming in at number 4, we've got the renewed Proto-Drake. Well, actually we've got the 2 skins for the renewed Proto-Drake that I personally like. There are 3 in total, but the ones we're talking about today are the Ferox skins. That's the renewed form Shadow Flame Drake, and then the renewing blazed, I don't remember the exact names of them, but pretty much you have Ferox in his normal form before he was tainted by the Shadow Flame, and then the AOTC one, which is no longer available unfortunately, is the Shadow Flame form, as you can see here. So unfortunately, if you did not get your AOTC from the Dream before the season's end last expansion, you won't be able to get the Shadow Flame form. But the other one is a still droppable item that comes off of Ferox from any difficulty. So if you want his original form, you know, the really bright, light-colored one, you can get that one. But overall, this skin is amazing. I mean, anytime you get to take over a boss, a raid boss, and make it your mount, I mean, what's not better than that? It's amazing. So, that's why for number 4, we've got the renewed Proto-Drake and the Ferox skins. And coming around the corner in 3rd place, it looks like it's going to be, yes, that's right, it's 0 in 3rd! So coming in 3rd place is actually the newest member of this whole entire list, which is the Trader's Gilded Brutosaur. And I gotta tell you guys, if you didn't get this one when it was around for sale, it's gone. No longer attainable once again. So this mount here is an auction house mount and a mailbox in one, which personally I find to be better than the original Brutosaur that came out in BFA that you can only get from the Black Market Auction House. So with this Brutosaur, you are able to, you know, like I said, auction house, mail. The other one was auction house and repair. So you'd still have to go to a mailbox or use a mailbox toy in order to get the stuff you bought. So overall, way better than that. Now, if I were to do anything, I really think that Blizzard needs to come out with a Barber and Transmog mount in one, but that's here nor there. This thing is amazing. Black being one of my favorite colors, all gold, has an alliance and a horde represented on each side. This thing is super cool, and the fact that they made it so accessible to so many players was amazing. Price tag may have been a little high, but definitely worth it. This one was a gift to me, so thank you again, Mako.
Why, I am his number 2, and I'm here to get you.
So coming in at number 2 is the Hand of Salaranga, which I'm pretty sure I was the first one on my server to get this one. So let me explain. When this one first came out, it was a meta achievement, and there was a bug causing there to be a problem with the last achievement that you needed in order to get this. I sent out a real quick shout out to Blizzard, and they actually awarded me the mount in the mail within an hour and a half. A lot of other people didn't get access to the mount until the end of the day, so I take credit as being the first person on my Realm server to get the Hand of Salaranga. Now to explain how to get this one, it's a meta achievement tied to a bunch of stuff between the Maw and Korthia. It is not easy to get and it is time consuming. but it is worth it. The hands are a bunch of titan beasts that try to overthrow the jailer, so the lore behind them is super cool, and each one's got a great story behind it. So if you ever get a chance, really deep dive into them, because each one of these hands did something to try and take over the jailer by themselves. And they paid for it by having their hands cut off and having their souls sealed inside the hands. So if you have any of them, take a second, read through them in the Mount Journal. They're pretty twisted. I have obtained ultimate power! I mean, come on, let's be honest. Did you guys really think I'd choose any other one for number 1? Coming in at number 1 is the Wastewarped Deathwalker. This is the KSM mount for Season 3 of Shadowlands, and hands down, my favorite mount of all time. You can't find a better looking mount in my opinion. The red, the black, the swirls, it's mind-blowing. They had these mounts come out for Season 1, 2, 3, and 4 of Shadowlands as the KSM mounts. Season 1 was a blackish grayish tone, number 2 was a greenish tone, number 3, as you can see here, is the red, and Season 4 was the purple. But of all of them, the best, hands down, is the Wastewarped Deathwalker. It's literally my 2 favorite colors combined into one, into a flying mount that is just badass overall. The design, the aesthetic, the lore behind it. It is amazing. And if I had to choose to only be able to ride one mount for the rest of the game, of all the ones I own right now, it hands down would have to be the Wastewarped Deathwalker. I mean, I could ride this thing day in, day out, night and day, doesn't matter. Even if I lost every other mount I had, I'd still be happy if I had this one. Well guys, it's come to that time again where you've stayed till the end of the video, and all I gotta say is thank you so much if you did. Of course, if you want to, you can like, comment, subscribe, all of that little stuff to help out, because really, every little click helps. I mean, I'm the Omega Level Nerd and the Omega Level Dad, and I'm trying to take this channel as far as I can, and hoping to take you guys as far as you can with me. Like I said, like, comment, subscribe, follow all that good noise. We've got a Patreon, we've got a Blue Sky, we've got a Twitter, working on a Facebook and a Discord right now, so we're slowly getting everything together. So eventually I'll be, maybe like a real YouTuber-ish kind of thing and make this a full-time thing, hopefully, for you guys. Working that way, but of course I gotta upgrade my equipment, upgrade my programming, and stop using free stuff all the time. But we'll get there eventually. It's all down the road. I'm not too worried. Just stick with me and stick to it, and we'll get there. You know me, I'm super positive. Nothing's gonna get me down, except for that thing over there, or maybe that thing there, but we don't talk about those things, because this is Zero the Wannabe, the Omega Level Nerd, and the Omega Level Dad, saying thanks again, guys, and hopefully I'll see you around next time. Have a good one, guys.